Hello everyone and welcome to Unit 3 of the course. I apologize for those who have noticed this is uploaded a little late because I must have dreamt that I opened Unit 3 and uploaded the video because I've been going through this week like that's all done until I started getting email. So I apologize for that. I thought I took care of all of this. So thank you for those who have reached out via email just to clue me in. There's only been a few, which is okay. You know, I know that not everyone goes in the unit or the class material the first day of the new unit, so hopefully only a few people noticed. But regardless, so on Sunday, you should have submitted everything for Unit 2, which included the Unit 2 assignment, discussion board number 2, and journal reflection number 2. So those will all be graded by the end of Unit 3, which this unit goes from the 27th, so Monday, until the 12th, which is not this upcoming Sunday, but the following Sunday. So you still have your 2 weeks. So please just make sure you're following along with the dates and everything. And for Unit 3, what we're going to be talking about or learning about are rehabilitation counselors and career counselors. So just notice this is actually the last unit before you go on spring break. So you'll have 2 weeks off from the course after this unit. So if you want to power through the unit and then, not have to start Unit 4 work until the end of March, totally up to you. So I know the university only gives 1 week for spring break, but the way that our course is set up, it makes most sense for you to get 2 weeks off. So after this unit, so after everything is due on March 12th, you don't have anything due until April 9th. So just be mindful of that. Make sure you're following the tracking calendar and you should be good to go. So in this unit, you are going to watch this unit video. You are going to read Helkowski chapters 4 and 11. Watch the video, The Art of Rehabilitation Counseling. Watch a TED Talk by Eleanor Longden regarding her, struggles with schizophrenia and what her journey has been like with schizophrenia. Read 2 supplemental articles, submit the Unit 3 assignment, quiz number 2, and then the topic of the advocacy paper. So I'm going to go through that in just a second. So I want to talk a little bit about counseling and the vocations. So, when we are talking about rehabilitation counselors, these individuals generally have what's called a CRC, which stands for Certified Rehabilitation Counselor. And I am also a CRC. So if anyone has any questions about, becoming a CRC or what that looks like, please feel free to let me know. UB does have a rehabilitation counseling master's program. That is where I graduated with my master's degree from. So typically, kind of similarly to becoming a licensed mental health counselor, you would complete a master's program, complete the required internship, and then take an examination. So what's different between rehabilitation counselors and LMHCs, I explained this a little bit in the last unit. Licensed professionals are licensed by state, whereas certification is a little different. So for rehabilitation counselors, when you become a CRC, you pass the national exam and everything, you can pretty much travel to any state that you want and work as a CRC. So typically CRCs get paid a little bit more towards the south of the country. In the northern states, such as New York State, it's a little difficult because insurance companies don't allow for you to bill for certain services under a CRC. If you are working under an Office of Alcohol and Substance Abuse Service umbrella, you can sometimes bill as a CRC. It's all just very different and depends on the job. So just to kind of give you a heads up. So licensure, the exam would vary state by state. Whereas as a rehabilitation counselor, you are certified nationwide. And a lot of the jobs for rehabilitation counselors and, clinical mental health counselors overlap. But one of the things that you're going to learn in this unit is, how are rehabilitation counselors much different from other counseling professionals? And the answer to that is rehabilitation counselors really are known for being one of the only counseling professions that care for people who, worked worked within a certain profession for, their entire life, got injured, and are no longer able to perform the job that they were doing. So a rehabilitation counselor would come in, help them identify their interests, their abilities, all of that to match a new job that would work well for them. So they're not completely out of the workforce. They just have to find another job that, they would like and also that they're able to do. So you're going to learn a little bit about like vocational tests and job theories and whatnot in this unit. So I know the clinical mental health counselor and the rehabilitation counselor stuff gets a little like murky, but if you have any questions about that, please feel free to let me know. Ultimately, what it comes down to is certification versus licensure and like what insurance companies will allow someone to bill for in terms of like obtaining jobs. But there are plenty of like state jobs that will hire, rehabilitation counselors and stuff like that. So there is definitely a market in the workforce for CRCs. So the other thing is we're also going to learn about career counselors. CRCs also can serve in the function of a career counselor. So you're going to learn a little bit more about that in the unit. But if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. So let's talk a little bit about quiz number 2. So for quiz number 2, there are a couple of questions that I definitely know that I want to address with you. So these are primarily going to be about like accreditation and like overseeing agencies and stuff. But one thing that I will tell you for this quiz is please make sure that you're paying attention to the ones that are asking you for multiple answers. There's quite a few that there's more than one right answer. And I do, as you've noticed, provide partial credit even if you get some right and, miss one or two. So the first quiz question that I want to talk about is what organization oversees rehabilitation counseling programs in regards to standards and accreditation? So I've received a lot of emails over the years regarding confusion about what is meant by accreditation. So we'll take UB for example. We are accredited for like our LMH or mental health counseling or rehabilitation counseling master's programs. And basically what that means is that, when we take a look at an institution's curriculum for those programs, they want to make sure that the institution is setting students up to really know about the profession and what comes along with that profession, and also, not only setting them up for success in the profession, but also making sure that they have all of the knowledge, information, and process to sit and pass the exam. So the answer to this quiz question is CACREP, so CACREP. Some people pronounce it differently. It's a little awkward to say, but that is the accrediting organization that oversees counseling programs to make sure that these programs are really setting students up to do well in the profession. So CACREP, that is the correct answer. So the other question is what organization or which organization is responsible for overseeing the certification of rehabilitation counselors? The answer to this is CRCC. So this is, a little different from CRC. So keep that in mind because CRC is an option for this one. But CRCC is the answer. So if you ever want to go on like the rehabilitation counseling website or anything like that, make sure you're Googling like CRCC. It'll take you to the right place. So that is it for the Unit 2 quiz. Let's talk a little bit about the topic of advocacy paper. So in the discussion board, there is at the bottom, after all the numbered discussion boards, there is a topic of advocacy paper. I want to let you know that for this, you do not need to comment on 2 of your classmates' posts at all. So this is just you going on and letting me know what your topic is going to be so that I can make sure it's appropriate. So I talked about this a little bit, and I think the welcome and the Unit 1 and Unit 2 videos, because I like to make sure that I'm talking about this throughout the semester and not springing on you, as a surprise. So when we talk about the advocacy paper, feel free to go in. There is a papers and projects section in the UB Learns sidebar in the course. So go ahead and take a look at the guidelines there. There's also a sample paper there as far as like what I'm looking for. Almost always at the end of every semester, there are students who are barely getting credit on their advocacy papers because they didn't watch the videos of me discussing this. They didn't read through the syllabus, and they did not look at the samples in the course under the papers and projects. So for this paper, there are 3 main elements. So you're going to kind of discuss the literature. Let's pick a topic. This topic is going to be a population that is vulnerable and needs advocating for in the community. This could be the homeless population, minorities, immigrants. I've had a lot of people do, childhood trauma, Black Lives Matter, individuals who immigrated to the U.S. or the Buffalo area from Middle Eastern countries. So just keep in mind, or start thinking about that population that could use some advocating for in the community. So what you're going to do is you're going to do some research on this topic and basically tell me what you found in the literature as to why this is a vulnerable population. So you're basically defending your position of this is a vulnerable population because this is what we're finding in the literature. After that, you're going to discuss implications for counselors. So, why is it important for counselors to advocate for this population? What role do they play? There's a little bit more guidance in the guidelines, but that's kind of the gist of that. And then you're going to go to the advocacy plan, which make sure you're taking your time on this because this is the meat of the paper. This is the purpose of the paper. I've received papers where the advocacy plan is the briefest part of the whole thing. This is basically you pretending as though you're already a counselor in the profession. You're about to advocate for this population and you have unlimited resources. So you have all of the money you can think of, any program startup that you want. You can do absolutely anything. Tell me what you would do. So step-by-step specific, as you'll be able to see from the sample paper that's in the unit or in the papers and projects section, that person went through and, kind of bullet pointed all of their plans and what they would be doing. So this isn't meant to be a brief section. So I just want to let everyone know that. So I kind of gave you, again, an overview of the paper because I'm trying to just make sure it's in your head. But all you have to do for Unit 3 is go in the discussion board and simply type out what your topic is going to be. Brief, straight to the point. No need for 200, 250 words. Just tell me what your topic is. If it's appropriate, I'll give you the 25 points. So that's the easiest 25 points. You'll get 25 points for the approval of your topic. If I don't give you feedback, you're good to go. If I give you a 0 and then, kind of put some feedback in there, that means I want you to post again with, a more specific or an appropriate topic, and then you'll get those 25 points back after. So I hope that makes sense. So that is pretty much it for this unit. If you have any questions, any comments, let me know. Most of the class is doing fantastic. You can tell a lot of people are watching the unit videos. I can also tell that a lot of people are not watching the unit videos because when I go and I grade the quizzes, they are getting the answers that I gave in the unit videos incorrect. So at some point, there will be an extra credit opportunity for those who are watching the unit videos. So keep that in mind. It's not all for nothing. So this unit ends on the 12th of March. Also, happy first day of March. If you need anything, shoot me an email. Everyone's doing really good with asking for extensions for unit assignments. But yeah, let me know if you need anything, and I will see you in a few weeks. Have a good and safe spring break because I will not see you before you go. So I will see you in just about a month. All right, take care.